I'm Herb Weyrauch. Came aboard as an ensign, left as a lieutenant, and my first assignment was to be in communications, and my battle station was here in the code room. So when general alarm sounded, we scampered down all these stairs. We're what, 4 levels down, inside the armor belt, and came in the room, shut the doors. Anyway, I have with me some heavy weighted covers. They feel like they're sheets of steel, almost 1/4 inch thick, and then these, we bound them. Now, inside of this one it says the reference for this cover is CSP 200, Communication Security Publication 200. All these publications, even the covers, had numbers on them, and we had to keep track of them and be responsible that they were passed along, the custody was passed along from one party to another. And this one was marked secret, and this one was marked secret and confidential, so that you always go to the highest classification and treat them as secret, because that's what you're protecting. This one doesn't have a CSP number in. Why not? I don't know. But anyway, they're weighted so that if you had to leave the ship or had to destroy them in an emergency, you'd throw them overboard and presumably they'd sink. If you weren't able to do that, or you had other things like paperwork and messages and that sort of thing, we stuffed them in a disposal bag like this, which you see is full of holes, and has a weight in the bottom, which is at least 10 pounds, maybe 15, to help it sink. And the holes permit the water to come in so it doesn't act like a balloon and float when you throw it overboard. It goes down hopefully quickly before anybody discovers where you went. And you always hope that you had a few hundred fathoms of water. A burn bag here where we put everything that we took out of publication when we had to correct things. We did a lot of cutting and pasting. They'd send us a printed correction sheet, for example, and we'd have to cut out the paragraphs or the whole section and paste it in the book to cover up the old part. And then we had to initial beside that, and if it was changed to, we put a CH2, which was changed to, and then our initials as to what it was, what the authority was, and who did it. So we had to track all that stuff, and any waste paper went in the burn bag, and we'd take it up to the incinerator. 2 people. Anything that had a CSP number on it was listed on an inventory sheet. We checked it into the bag when we left the room, before we left the room down here. We'd check it out of the bag when we got up to the incinerator, and yeah, it went in there and got burned. We'd check them off, and 2 of us had to sign it that it was done. Well, this was part of the security procedure that we took care of, and that's why we had a separate room for this, so we could put things out and work on them. We had a coding machine, like I spoke about yesterday, which was developed from the Enigma machine that we managed to capture. One of my problems was that I couldn't type worth a darn. And if you make mistakes on some of those things where it depends on sequence, you have to have the preceding letter correct before the following letter comes out right. It makes a big difference if you type a J instead of an H. And so I kept working. I'm still learning to type.